Hi, everyone. Lynn here from DevineCentral with my best buddy, Dee Schrader. And we're doing another spread, but actually, I think we're going to do three. So they're all going to be 9 card for tarot. So stick around. Um, the first one that I want to do is from Marie Alviz. And she is a director for the World Divination Association. And you can find that at worlddivinationassociation.com. And they have a lot of really nice education there. I'll put the information below. But a while back, she did a 9 card tarot spread that I thought was so interesting, Dee. And I wanted to find it so I could put it down below, but I can't find it. So what I did is I brought it up on my computer, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show it to you here. And it's called The Quick Guide to the 9 Card Tableau. And you can certainly go to her website. She has a lot of stuff on the 9 card. But this was a free piece that she put out, and so I feel it's okay then to show it here. But I want to show you first what this spread can do, or how it's set up. And what I'm going to do is show you each page. And for those of you watching this video, just stop the video and you can read you should be able to read each page if you blow it up. Okay, so she does a basic layout, which is you can see that she does her own way of laying it out. It doesn't matter. You can lay it out any way that you want. It's not going to change it. She also discusses the layered reading and what to look for, and numerology, and what elements are there, what aren't. It's kind of fun and interesting. But here's the gist of her layout. The top left card is the nuance, the flavor. It influences the whole spread. The center card in the middle is the core of the situation, the meat. Everything revolves around it. And the bottom right card is supposed to be the final outcome, or the strongest potential outcome. Anyway, she goes into timeline, and suffice it to say, past, present, future, right? It can also be foundation, current events, or outcome. That's how you can lay that out. She then goes into influences. Now, this is very much a Lenormand thing. And think about gravity. Think about whatever's on top presses down on what's below, right? It influences what's below it. And then in turn, the center card influences what's below that. I like it for tarot. However, she also lodges into knighting, and knighting is about 1 over and 2 down, or 2 over and 1 down. It's strictly a Lenormand thing, and I don't like it for tarot, so I'm not going to use it for my reading. She then says additional information can be found on the columns, and I thought that was interesting too. So just to continue this, I'm going to show you that she starts the reading. She tells you what to look for, and then she launches into a sample, and she gives you the cards. And then and then here's her interpretation of it. Now, like I said, you can stop this video and on these pages, and you can read it for yourself, because it's no longer out there on the internet. I've tried everything to find it, and I can't. But here is how to find her. And I love her stuff. And she's really interesting. And she has a weekly a weekly email thing, and she always puts out something interesting. So I wanted to show you that. So anyway, I know you've seen that, Dee, but I wanted
Yes.
to share it with the
Yeah.
people that we're talking about. So this is what I did. I wanted to prepare for us today, right? So I was going to do a few layouts. And the first layout that I came to, I was so struck by that I had to keep it and show it to you. So
Awesome.
I never really got past it. So I'm going to go ahead now and switch cameras. But I want to show it to you, and I'm going to lose us on this,
That's
I
fine.
believe.
That's fine.
We're not going to be in the picture now. Oh, there you go. Can you see that okay?
Yeah, pretty
It
good.
should be big on your screen, right? Okay.
Yeah,
So,
yep.
all right. So I did this layout, and it doesn't matter how I laid it out. It's just, whatever cards come up is what comes up, right? And by the way, for those interested, I am using the Russian Tarot of St. Petersburg. That's what I'm using today. Okay. So I laid this thing out, Dee, and I just pulled a question at random. And of course, in all of our discussing, these are my 600 questions for your tarot practice that you can find in my Etsy shop. And of course, I ended up putting away the card. Oh, here it is. Oh my God. Thank God I found it. Okay. What can I do to improve my chances of meeting the right person?
Okay.
What can I do to improve my chances of meeting? Okay, it's not going to let me focus, right? Of meeting the right person. Okay, whatever.
Yeah, we got it.
All right. The biggest influencer is the Knight of Coins.
Okay.
The crux of the situation is the Eight of Cups, and the potential, the final outcome is Temperance. And
Oh,
the first thing that I thought of when I saw this card was, you know what? For your personality, you need somebody really laid back. You need somebody, you need to relate to be in a relationship with somebody that where everything is slow, and everything's deliberate, and what's going to happen and what's going on. And how can you improve your chances of meeting the right person? By finding the right person, right? By finding the right person. And at this point in time, the crux of the situation is you need to be able to walk away when it's not the right person. And of course, what that means is you need to be looking to avoid extremes. But in the past, check this out, D. In the past, we have the king of clubs, right? Mr. In Your Face, and the emperor. So
Oh,
what's happening is what she needs, and what she's been in search of, she's ending up with the wrong people. She's
yeah.
ending up with all these controlling, narcissistic, in your face, controlling people. I just thought that was so obvious, and it's God, it just amazed me that these cards came up, because yeah, it's almost like she has a sign on her back. It says, all controlling people come to me, because that's what she's been with. That's what she's attracting. That's what she's drawing. Currently, I know she's working at it. She's got the Seven of Coins, the Eight of Cups, and the Two of Cups. So presently, I know she's putting herself out there. I know she's making an effort, because she's trying to improve her chances of meeting the right person. And she just keeps walking the line. She keeps walking through, her life, looking. But presently there is somebody there. I think they're right there. I think they're right in front of her. I think they're hiding in plain sight from her, because there is somebody there and she might already know him and not realize it. But she needs to, instead of continually walking, continually searching, she needs to open her eyes, because I think it's right there. And honestly, down here in the future aspect, Eight of Coins, continuing to work at it, right? Continuing to do what she's doing. But the Four of Swords, but not jumping in, right? Sleeping on it, making sure that she asks the right questions and gives the relationship enough time to make sure it's not where she used to be, because she knows she needs to walk away from where I don't think she realizes she's picking the wrong guys. And again, the number one card, the end result in this is, if she's going to improve the chances of meeting the right person, she needs to avoid extremes. And that's what she's been attracted to. That's what she's been drawing for her whole life. I think that is so cool.
It is. It
Don't
is.
you?
Yeah. Yeah. I want you
So-
to pull a clarifier on that 2 of Cups.
Okay, all right. Oh, I have a card turned over. You ready?
Yeah.
The Chariot.
Oh, well, see? She needs to get out of the box and move forward.
This guy
Yeah.
is, yeah, there's somebody there, don't you think?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think there's somebody there. And
Sure.
to give it, more information, this center, right? From the King of Clubs or the King of Wands for people, I feel like this last relationship, she walked away from it because she
Yeah.
realized it was no longer serving her, and she's had to recuperate from it.
Mhm.
I think with the Four of Swords, she really had to take a break, Dee.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
really do. And the Emperor, he might have been the right person if he wasn't so extreme.
Yeah.
There was no moderation in that relationship.
She needs to rethink some things.
Yeah, I
Definitely.
think she does. I really think she needs to work toward, finding that right guy. And this Eight of Coins too, I always think about it as repetition.
Mhm.
Stay in search of, but keep working at it.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I just thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Oh, bottom of the deck.
Yes. Always.
The Empress.
Oh my God.
Create what you want in your life. Create it.
Yep.
Think it, breathe it, live it, believe in it, and then manifest it, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, so cool. Okay.
Very.
So that's that one. And I don't think we need to do another one of those.
No.
I am way more interested in yours because you always do you always do such fantastic stuff.
Oh,
So,
that's just because you have trouble following me.
you see, okay. So one of the things that you and I've talked about, and I want to share with anybody watching this video is, one of the absolute wonder, some people are compatible, and some people aren't in discussing this stuff. You and I are, we people should be so lucky to share our fabulousness, because we have so much fun, but I do so many readings for other people that's where my focus is. You do
Mhm.
readings, you have quite the college kid following, but you do a lot of personal work, more so, more personal reflection work than I do. And
Yes.
so
Yes.
you come to our discussions with that. So what I wanted you to do
Mhm.
is, I wanted you sent me this thing. And it was so cool. And let me just read to you what it says. I don't know where did you get this? Where did you get this one?
Gosh, from a it's called The Ultimate Tarot Guide by
Who's
Liz
it
Dean.
by?
Liz Dean should be
Oh, I love Liz
Liz
Dean.
Dean.
Okay.
Yeah, I do
The
too.
Ultimate
But
Tarot
I've had
Guide.
this book forever. Yeah, I've had this book forever.
Okay, I'll put it down below.
And when I first got it, I played with this, and to me it is such a good spread to put out there when I want to have my client participate, because there's a step in it where it makes them look at the cards and have to participate. So lay out 9 cards facing down.
Okay. In any order, right?
Yep, doesn't matter. Just lay out 9 cards. We're just going to try this.
Okay. Do you want to pick
I'll walk you through
a topic first? Do
it.
you want to pick a question? You and I set aside some questions. Do you want to set aside a
Yeah.
question?
What was that one? Should I stay or should I go, or what's coming up with me next, or something like that? What's
Okay.
coming to me next?
What do you see for me for the next month?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay.
Okay, so lay
I
your
love
9
these
cards
questions.
down.
I love these questions because, okay, somehow, Jesus, I am so disorganized. Somehow, some of these, I don't know how, a couple of these cards, there we go, got turned over. Okay.
Okay, now when you lay out these
Oh my
9
God.
cards, lay them
the hell?
lay them closer to the left. Okay.
Okay.
Because you're going to need the other side of your table.
Okay.
Wow, you got a mess.
Yeah, I don't know how I did this. Oh, I think those are all. Oh, no, they're not. Jesus, I don't know how this happened. So stupid deck. You know what? I know this may sound weird to people. Maybe not. Maybe some I'm preaching to the choir. But it just seems to me that this deck argues with me. Have you ever had that?
Oh, yes. Well, I asked my deck. Normally, if I pull out a couple, I'll say, who wants to play today?
But I just feel like this deck just argues. It's like it tries to make trouble from. Now look at that. See, it's like it tries to make trouble. It tries to confuse me. I know that,
Sure.
maybe that sounds weird, but I don't use this deck every day. I don't use it a lot. It's a nice deck, but I feel like it's just, and I'm probably going to cut this out. I may cut this out. I don't know. Okay.
I use my that Ehrenberg tarot deck.
Yeah, I love that one too.
I really like that deck.
I'll use that on our next video. Okay, ready?
Sure.
Okay,
Yep.
1, 2. You want them over here?
Yeah, I want them over there.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
3. Hang on. Let me get that. There we go.
Yep.
4, 5, 6. See, it doesn't matter. You can lay them out any way you want.
Right.
Okay.
Now, tip over the top 2 and leave the third one down.
Okay.
Tip it and tip it. Okay. Now in the next row, I want you to leave the first one down and tip over the next 2. And then the third row, leave the middle one down and tip over the top one. Bottom row, tip that one. Yep. Good. Okay. Now you can just kind of oversee what you have there, but the 3 cards that are down in the first row, second row, and third row, take those and move them to the right.
Like this?
1, 2. Yep. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Now you can tip those cards over. Your question is basically the first row is past, present, future, or what is your situation? Whatever, basically basing it off your question.
It says here, the circumstances that led to the situation itself, and the impact it made upon you.
Yes, those are the 3 things according to that go along with your question.
Okay. What do we do with the rest of these cards?
Now, the top ones on that left side, what one do you want to carry over? Which one pulls at you and you want? That works for you.
Okay.
Look at them and see.
Different than I thought it was going to be, and this is fine. All right. So the King of Swords can be an asshole, so I'm going to leave him.
Yep. Okay. Then take the other card and put it under there. Okay, good. Second row.
Yep.
Pick the card that you're looking. Pick a card there.
Course, between walking away from somebody that no longer serves me and winning the lottery, I'll take that.
Okay, go.
The Ace of Coins.
And then the last row.
Yep. Justice and the Moon. Well, I like Justice.
I like Justice too.
And
okay, so now those 3. Just leave those
my life is confusing enough and distracted enough.
Okay, so now with our question, you can look at those cards and basically that first row, now we're going to read top to bottom.
Here.
Nope. The other ones that we just that one and the bottom.
Okay.
Yep.
So the 10 of coins and the 3 of coins.
Okay. And
our question was, what do you see for me? What do you see for the next month for me?
Well, that basically you've been in a good spot before. So this basically says decent situation.
10 of coins and 3 of coins. I kind of see a family celebration of some kind coming.
Something coming up.
Something coming that will make everybody want to get together and celebrate.
Okay. There you go. Now, what's the second row?
The Page of Coins. Oh my God. The Page of Coins and the Ace of Coins. This is the element of earth, the element of grounding, the element of everything in your it's not a mental or a spiritual month for him coming up. It's
No,
it's
no.
everything in life, right?
Yeah. The whole life is you're going to be surprised by what's coming into you.
Okay.
And
With the
make,
page of coins and the ace of coins, I don't know what you see you see a message, right?
yep,
I see a change in direction. You see so I got my cards. I'm ready because I know what you're going to make me do.
yep,
You're going
go.
to make me pull a clarifier because it's a page. And the ace of coins, something new, right?
Something
Something
new.
new pertaining to his physical world.
Yes.
A change of direction, which would be something new.
Something new. Yes. Now, either you can pull that, or you see the first card that you left behind?
Mm-hmm.
That too can be part. I'm sorry, it'd be the second one because you were talking about the second row.
Right.
That too can be part of your clarifying.
Something that no longer, Eight of Cups, walking away
Yeah.
from something that no
Something
longer
you
serves
walked
you.
away with and something new coming in.
Yeah, something, a new direction, possibly.
New direction.
Right?
Okay. Now, your third row.
No, wait, we never use the King of Swords. Why not?
No, well, we can go back because that's a person. And once you go back and once you see where this all set, what it says to you,
Then we
you
can go
will,
back. Okay.
yeah, and we can go back and see anything else that helps you answer it.
Boy, I'm so glad that I figured out all I got to do is change this to speaker view. Remember how many times I had to squint to see these cards? Okay, so we have number 3. All right, the question. This was the situation itself. The impact it made upon you, or let's call it the impact that it will make upon you. The Star and Justice.
Yeah. It's something you've hoped for, possibly something you wish to have happen once before and you get another chance. It could be someone coming in your life. And what's the bottom card? Was that the moon?
No. Oh, the moon over here. Yeah.
Yeah. You never saw coming.
Never saw it coming. I love you. You're so fun. Stuff you come up with.
Well,
the moon. Yeah, never saw it coming. There you go.
I never saw it coming.
Oh,
actually,
my God. You listen, Dee, you got to see this. Let me see if it'll show it.
Okay.
Look at this is the moon card, right?
Yeah.
Look at the moon. Look at the disapproval of the moon. Oh my God. Or the sun. But check this out.
Look at that face.
Deck. You got a guy in a boat.
Oh.
What's the guy in the boat doing?
I don't know.
Okay, sorry, I digress. All right, so the impact of the month to be.
Yes.
And this can be hopeful. I love that. Hoping it's hoping for something, and I don't know if justice would come in. Well, I see it as karma. I see it as karma, legal, or a balance, right? These are the things it could be. And of course, I say to new people, if you have, every card has more than one meaning. And I want to do a video here shortly on how do you know which one, how you know what meaning? Well, it's by virtue of the context.
Right.
So it could be something legal coming in. It could be something karmic coming to you. You could hope for, some type of renewed, whatever. Maybe you've not had a good month, and that's why you're asking, is it over?
Well, to me, it says, do the right thing.
Oh, I love that one too.
That you've hoped for, or you was hoping it would come again. Do the right thing and be fair about it. Be truthful to yourself. And
so you're saying that something has transpired that is making this guy ask, what do you see the next month for me?
Right. So you see
there's information, and maybe for us.
Yes.
Maybe the moon is a message to us as the reader saying, we don't have all the information in this reading.
It won't happen until the next full moon. So, that king that's up there, that person could be part of it.
Okay.
And I also want to see what the bottom of the deck says.
Okay. Sorry, I'm blowing my nose.
I know, I am too.
I have got, as I was telling you before, we have I'm 6 miles from the Mexican border, and they're burning right now. They're burning sugarcane fields. Once they've harvested, they burn the fields, and we have what's called agricultural smoke. We have that and the Sahara Desert dust all coming in yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So it's like we're all sneezing. Queen of Coins.
Oh, Queen of Pentacles.
And it's interesting because I mean, this person, this king is very practical. This king is practical just by virtue of his personality. She is the queen of practicality, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And we've got maybe a karmic situation or wanting a do-over so you can do it differently.
Yes.
Right? That would be that doing the right thing.
Correct.
But going forward, if we don't have all the information,
right,
it could be that we need to be practical in our approach to do the right thing. We have to do something. And right now, I would pull out and put in someone's hand a red jasper, which says you need a practical approach is required to this situation.
Yes. Yeah.
But what does that have to do with the 10 of coins and the 3 of coins?
Well, that's what you came from. That was the existing thing. Where in the question, what was our question? Where am I going to end up?
What do you see for the next month for me?
Okay.
And this question, right, this column, well, we don't get a column, but but it's the circumstance. So
it's the situation.
Yeah, card 1 over here, right? Card 1 over here is the circumstance that led to the situation. So it was a person that led to this situation.
It was there it is.
The second card over here is the situation itself. Walked away. Woo!
Yeah.
This changes it. So something happened with somebody, with a male or female, that it kind of has a my way or the highway attitude.
And you walked away from it.
That you had to walk away from.
Right.
And it's still and that it's still out there.
Yeah.
With the moon, the situation has not been resolved. It's still out there, right? And if you come over here and look at what's to come, you're hoping that situation will resolve the right way.
Yeah.
And there's something that's
still not clear. It's something that's still unclear. And it could be a inner feeling, but where you were and where you're headed, beware, pay attention.
Do you see the columns as past, present, future, or do you see?
I throw them in there as that, or situation. How did you get there, and where you're headed?
Maybe this has nothing to do with family. Maybe this has to do with money.
I think it's all money, or material things, stuff that you had. So
we have this 3 of coins, and let's get off the standard. And isn't it weird that in this deck, the 3 of coins only has 2 people?
Oh, for heaven's sake.
That bothers me. But you know look at this. Listen, you guys, this is really a cool deck. Let me see. All right. See the guy standing up?
Yeah.
He's got a set of keys in his hand. Look at that.
Oh my gosh. I was going to say, she's going to have to give up her car.
What's the music for? Is it, having to dance to the music? I don't know. But this card, I have a deck. I love this card in one of the decks, but it's like throwing it out there and seeing what comes back to you. It's threes are expansion.
Yeah, exactly.
Threes are expansion. So it could be, a situation. Yeah, I think it could be a money situation. But yes, I think it's currently looking for a new direction, right? New change of direction.
New direction.
We'll just do this as a pictograph, like we're doing Lenormand, right? All right.
I did this when I was playing with this spread. It was to look at the card. You already know the meanings, but look at the card. What is it telling you? And see, this is what it ended up with us. We're right in it, looking at what does the card say. You found 2 people on that 3. Isn't that interesting? And you found the moon with the mean face.
Oh yeah, I just love this moon. And the guy's in the middle of the river. Come on.
But what's he doing in a boat? Come on.
I
That's what I
don't
can't figure
know.
out.
It's not interfering. Listen, it's not interfering with the hounds, right?
No,
Our domestic and our wild hounds. It's not messing
no,
with that.
no.
But I'm going to tell you what, that crustacean, he's trying to get away. He's not crawling out because he's crawling out. He's crawling out to get away from the guy in the boat.
Yeah, yeah.
Come on,
So,
camera. Get
isn't
with the
that
program. There we go. Oh, no. Okay, there it is. Now we got clarity. Look, he's trying to
yeah,
get away from the guy. Oh,
yeah.
that's just too funny.
So
Well,
anyway, it was a way to make you look into the cards and decipher what you saw or what you see. And that picking a card out of the row was a way for me to have my querent, well, some of my kids that do like this, or clients that come through, it was, what do you see? It makes them look at it. And you know how some cards stand out better than others.
yep.
That's why I did it. And I know it's a lot of steps, but
Okay. Yeah, and it confused me. And so,
we don't want to do that, Lynn.
listen, look at this.
Again.
What the hell is the deal? Oh my
Get a
God.
new deck. Get a new deck. You got one?
Okay. Now those go like that. Yeah, as a matter of fact, geez, everyday witch.
Oh, there you go.
Oh my God, and the cards are all going the right way. Go figure. Jesus. I'm having one of those days, folks. All right, so let's pick. All right, so we're gonna pick another question because I want people to I want to understand the spread. Okay, so
Right.
we had the focus efforts on business, we had the mother-in-law thing, we had the reclaiming our power thing, we had the blind date. Is he gonna like me? We had the upcoming event. What do you want me to know about the upcoming event? Will the new romance accept my children? And someone entered my life, changed it, and left abruptly. Which do you want?
Ooh. Oh, wow. Um, Gosh, what do you think?
I'm
With all
leaving it
those,
up to you. I
how about
always make the decisions on these things.
someone
It's your turn.
someone entered my life and left abruptly. Let's
Okay.
shoot for that.
Okay. The question, everybody, is someone entered my life, changed it, and left abruptly with no explanation. Will our paths cross again?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. That's the one, and you're sticking to it?
Yeah, which one do you think would go good with this setup? Any?
No. I don't know how I can reclaim my power, how I can better relate to
Oh,
my
yeah, you know what?
mother-in-law.
Yeah. How can I reclaim my power? Let's do
Okay.
that one.
I pulled, what's really funny is I have a bunch of hows here and
Yeah,
where, sometimes work better,
yeah,
for
they do.
certain spreads. The wills are all about yes and no.
Yep, that
Will
is.
this happen? Will I meet somebody? Will
Yeah.
I pass my test? It's all yes or no. And then
No.
that calls for a different deck. Okay.
Yeah.
How can I reclaim my power in this situation? And
Right.
what's so funny? That reminds me of you because when you're doing these with me, you never give a situation. Or, you never give any explanation. It's just, what will the outcome be? It's like no
Well,
context for you.
no, I just look across it and that's what I see, and bang.
And I like context. Okay.
I know you do. I know.
How can I reclaim my power in this situation that I know nothing about? Okay, here we
Right.
go. Oh my God, you're so fun. Oh, gee. Okay.
You can just be happy you can cut a lot of this out.
Yeah. I can edit if I want to. I probably won't. I don't know.
Okay.
People like that shit. Okay. I'm not going to tell you.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
First
Flip
row.
over the 1 and 2. Okay, the next row. Yep. Good. And the next 2. There you go.
Got that, everybody? Okay. This is a little bigger deck, so it's going to.
Now you can take those ones that are face down and put them off to the right.
1, 2, and 3.
Okay. Now look at those remaining, and on that first row,
Oh, okay. What do you want to get rid of?
yes.
Right? Okay. I'm definitely going to get rid of the 10 of wands instead of, all right. So that, they just go away, right?
Well, they just sit there in case we pull from it and if it brings us any other information.
Well, I
But
want
there's
this, I want the 7 of pentacles.
okay, so 7 of Pentacles goes underneath that first flip. There you go, right there.
Okay. Oh,
Now
see.
the second row, which
Second
one?
I want, what's the question? How can I reclaim my power?
Yeah. How do I come?
I'm gonna keep the Knight of Wands instead of the Fool,
Okay.
just because of the question.
Yeah.
And then the
And
last row, we're gonna definitely Queen of Swords instead of the 4 of Swords.
okay. Now, how do I reclaim my power? Okay, so flip over those.
In this situation.
Yes, in this situation.
Okay.
Now, if you flip over that first top card, so you have that with your pick. I mean, you can flip them.
3 of Cups, 7 of Pentacles.
Well, 3 of Cups.
Right.
There you go. You're gonna celebrate. You were celebrating, and things seemed to be fine, and then all of a sudden, you just something came up. What? You're not feeling. You're not feeling it. What's the second card? You can flip those all over on the top.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
So
okay.
We're kind of going a little off the beaten path with what she set up, but I kind of like what she came up with, you know. So it's like, you know, the circumstances that led to the situation itself, and the impact that it made upon you.
Right.
And it's supposed to be these 3, actually. The situation, the circumstances that led to the situation itself, and the impact that it made upon you.
Yes.
So she's saying card number 1 from row 1, card number 2 from row 2, and card number 3.
Yes.
That's why you did it that way. So that worked.
Yes.
From card 3. Those are the current, the circumstances that led to the situation, the current situation itself, and the impact. Then it says of these, row 1 down here, this is what happened, and this is what to do. That is from the instructions.
Yes. So if you take that first card at the top that you didn't pick, that one.
Yep.
That's what happened.
Yes, that is a circumstance. No, that's the circumstance that led to what happened.
Led to it. Okay. And then the first row, now you're reading down. Yeah. So that first one, what led to the circumstance, that's what is happening, or what you're seeing, or what's going to happen.
Well, that's the circumstance. That's what brought it into being. And this is the situation. So this led up to the situation, and then this is the situation, and now this is the impact that it made on you.
Okay.
That's interesting. Do we read that first by itself?
Well, I pull it in to the first row, second row, third row.
Okay.
Because it's almost like I could take those cards and put them at the bottom. What happens if you take that top card and put it at the bottom of the first row?
Well, I want to wait for just a moment.
Okay. Yeah.
And you're not, we don't have 3 rows. We have 3 columns.
Yeah. Columns.
What it calls for is, this is row 1, what happened, and this is row 2, what to do about it. Let's keep it separate per the instructions first, but then let's play with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So all right. So 10 of Wands, the Fool, and the 4 of Swords. What do you see in that, Dee? What do you see in what led up to the current, what happened, what led up to what happened, and here's the impact?
Well, to me, that 10 of Wands, pace yourself, taking on more than what you could handle.
Yeah.
And then what was the second card? 4 of Wands.
The second card is the Fool, and this is the situation itself.
Which caused you to start all over.
Yeah, could be.
It was bigger than what you could handle, and so you started all over, and
the impact was the 4 of Swords.
Okay, Four of Swords. There you go. Caused you health problems, sickness, total breakdown. So you have, and that's why you're asking the question.
I don't know what the situation was, right? How
Yeah,
do I reclaim my power in this situation is the question. And I'm thinking you took on a whole lot of responsibility that maybe you wanted at the time, but now you're sorry. You found out it was more than you could handle. And the problem is you just threw your hands up in the air and walked away. That would be so me as an Aries, right?
Yeah. Yep.
We take on all these things, and some people just figure out what it is you need to let go of and set aside the parts that you need to let go of. Not an Aries. An Aries, how we just throw the whole thing on the floor and walk away. But this is really freeing yourself of it, right?
Yeah, you're done.
This is all this responsibility, having to free yourself, and the impact that it had on you, the impact that it made was stepping out of the fray.
Yep.
It just made you pull back, right? From everybody. So you kind of ghosted everybody because you needed to rest, you needed a break, and
you need to heal. You need to heal from what you walked away from.
Right. That's how you reclaim your power. Is you just give it up and walk away and take a break. So now if we look at these row 1, row 2, which I think is silly, it should be row 1, row 2, whatever. But anyway, for the book, row 1 is what happened. So you were working towards something, right?
Yep.
So we got the 7 of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, and the Queen of Swords. So what happened, Dee?
The 7 of Pentacles.
How did we get here, right?
Yeah, really. Because it sounds to me like you weren't confident with what you were in for, or you didn't look at everything. 7 of Pentacles.
I think you wanted so badly for it to work, right? You wanted so badly. Like the 7 of Pentacles is about patience, right? It's about planting the seeds and watering and tilling the soil and but then you got to stop and let it grow. There's nothing to harvest until it's created. And sometimes when we plant something, we just have to wait for that plant to grow.
Well, you lost your belief in it.
Yeah, that could be too. Yeah. Second guessing, this creating second guessing whether you should have taken all this crap on, right?
Yeah.
And the Knight of Wands, I think the Knight of Wands so personifies the Fool, don't you? Because the Fool is just, it's like, listen, I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
I got to get out of this. And the Knight of Wands to me is a bull in a china shop. The Knight of Wands is just like, I'm leaving, and they just take off, right? They don't think about it. They just go. They let their passion for wanting some peace and quiet that they just
left.
Yeah, they just left. I mean, abruptly. But then, then I think they have to take a look at the situation, right? But
the truth comes out.
The truth, right?
Yeah.
They followed they did what they needed to do.
Yeah.
And it might not have been the right way to do it, but this is how they reclaim their power, saying, this is my truth. And that's what happened. So row 2 would be what to do next.
What to do.
3 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, Knight of Swords.
Well, 3 of Cups. Celebrate that you found your new heir.
What are you going to do next?
Yeah. There
3
you
Cups,
go.
10 of Pentacles, Knight of Swords. I
celebrate what you have and move forward. Knight of Swords is you've got to find that answer, communicate your way out of it. Get some better judgment.
I see that now that you have your power back.
Yeah.
You need to get together with whoever it was with, right? You need to gather. You need to gather around, especially if it's more than one person. You need to gather them up. You need to let them know the situation, but and you need to do it quickly. You need to resolve the situation, and I see that as, all will be well. Tens are completion, right? You need to complete this situation, and you
Well, you've
need to
ended it.
do it quickly.
Yeah.
You need to communicate it quickly. Now, then we could do, then you could do these, right?
Yes.
But
Then
I
you
thought
can.
that was interesting because it says this is card 1 from row 1. This is card 2 from row 2, and this is
Yep.
card 3 from row 3, right?
Yep.
That was that
Yep.
1, 2, 3 that we pulled
Yes.
out, or we pulled out.
Yeah.
And then we got rid of, I thought we got rid of something, but maybe we didn't.
No, what it did is it brought us to, normally you read the 3 cards as the answer, but it changed where the situation went to the bottom,
Oh, yeah.
and the top was your answer and how to get out of it.
That's right. That's true, because it's like, what do you not want now, right? What would you rather have? And what you would rather have goes into the what you're going to do about it. And what happened, what actually happened are the cards that you didn't like.
Right. Those first,
Bottom.
that row that's going down, the column that goes down, that was the situation. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Do you think I can do this without screwing up the cards? Okay. Let's try another one, because that makes so much more sense, Dee.
Yeah.
All right. So it's kind of confusing. We got it figured out now. So, listen, let's do, let's do, oh, I love this. I know you like that question, but I love this question. No, I don't. Someone entered my life. Let's do your question. Someone entered my life, changed it, and left abruptly with no explanation. Will we cross paths again? Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I'm not going to like really shuffle. I'll just take, okay, here we go. Let's try one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, what I normally do for myself on an card, I lay this card. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9. But it doesn't matter. You can do it any way you want,
Yeah, anything. Flip
So
over the first 2 cards on the top row. Flip it.
Okay.
And flip the second one. Okay, now in the next row, flip the last 2 cards. There you go. And in the bottom, you flip the 2 outer ones. There you go.
Got it. That's the first step.
Yeah. Now those ones that are face down, you take and put them off to the right.
Like this?
Nope, other way.
I'm sorry, but flipped over.
Yeah, you can. There's 1, there's 2, and then you can do the third one. Okay. Now you're going to look at your cards that you have remaining, and on the top row, what one do you feel or pulls at you?
Okay. I'm going to take the 6 of Cups over the 9 of Wands.
Okay.
Because I'm looking for happy cards. I'm going to take you know what? I'm going to take the, I'm going to take the Ace of Pentacles. I'm going to take the Ace of Wands and leave the 3 of Pentacles.
Okay.
And I'm going to take, of course, I'm going to take the Lovers over the 5 of Pentacles.
Yep.
Right?
Of course.
Okay. So those stay here in the column. These are the ones. Okay. So this is the circumstances that led to the situation. This is the situation itself, and this is the impact it made on you. And
correct.
Then this is row 1. This is what happened, and this is what to do.
Correct.
All right. So someone entered my life, changed it, and left abruptly with no explanation. Will our paths cross again? Okay.
Okay.
So what do we have here? So the situation is work.
Yeah, it was a work-related thing.
Yeah. So somebody came into your life, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But the 9 of Wands, this is what led up. This is the circumstances that led up to the situation. So maybe the circumstances where you were having a tough time at work. You were having a tough time at work, and there were, and the challenges, were creating a physical issue for you, right?
Yeah. Or that person became a critical issue.
Well, yeah.
I
So
made that person look good.
something was happening at work that was
Yeah.
causing you to just, like, what are you defending, for God's sake? It's like you don't even
Yeah.
remember anymore what you're defending. It was that environment where you're tired and you've done everything you can, you've pushed, you've tried, and overwork, right? Because
Mhm.
the situation was at work.
Mhm.
You just
Mhm.
pushed it. And the impact that it made on you was, it was a setback in either your finances, your home, or your health. So I'm
Yeah.
thinking probably in your health.
In your health.
It just, you were so exhausted from this
Yeah.
card shows exhaustion.
Yep.
That's where the context of health might come in on a pentacle.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
So this person came in a work environment, and it challenged, maybe it challenged everything, maybe because we don't know the situation, right? We
No.
assume that this guy came into her life and changed it and left abruptly without an explanation. And maybe it wasn't, I see that as a relationship situation, right?
Mhm.
First date, second date, and then they ghost you. But
Mhm.
that doesn't necessarily mean that's what it was. This could have been a work situation. Somebody came into the workplace and really changed it, challenged and challenged the situation and made her look at it from a different angle, right?
Mhm.
It really helped
Mhm.
change her, and it created conflict like in her head that really kind of like affected her. And what happened was, oh my God, look, what happened was the Six of Cups.
6 of Cups.
It's like this person, it was either a consultant that came in, it was somebody part-time that came in, it was a manager that filled in for another manager, and it had a completely different management style that like really opened her eyes.
Mhm.
And oh my God, and it was a gift. It was some kind of a gift that really opened the chat, the made it passionate again at work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gave it passion again. And it really made her want to commit to it. But then what happened? What
Yeah.
happened? We have the Five of Swords and Justice, and then the King of Cups.
Well,
What
isn't
happened? And will our paths ever cross again? Why did they leave so abruptly? No, she's not asking why they left abruptly. She's just
no.
asking that why do they leave without an explanation? Or not
Yeah.
asking for that.
Yeah.
Just explain that that's what happened, but will their paths cross again? I think we have two fives, D.
Oh, yeah.
I think maybe this caused some uprising at work,
Inner feelings that they never saw coming.
or
Maybe.
yeah, discussions about maybe a change in how they work together, and
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
didn't like it,
Yeah.
you know, or
The word selfishness came to me. I'm not sure just where that would fit though. Um, being
we can see the justice card as justice, or we can see it as petty injustice.
petty injustice. Yep.
So it's
Yep.
like this is a bunch of petty bullshit, and it's not the Five of Wands that's petty little, aggravating stuff. The
Yeah.
Five of Swords it's hurtful.
That's hurtful. Yes.
And so I'm thinking, petty injustices that are coming. 11 in my deck, a justice is 11. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 is about being at a crossroads,
Yep.
and are
Decision.
you going to put up with this or not? But I see that what's coming is the King of Cups. I see the answer as yes, their paths will cross again. And I'm thinking it might be at a different location. I think it,
Yeah.
I think she
Yeah.
might follow him to a different job. And maybe she's not asking, she's asking roundabout. Can I follow him, or will I follow him? Someone entered my life, changed it, and left abruptly without an explanation. Will our paths cross again? I think she could very well be thinking about switching to his company, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or switching to where he is working.
Mm-hmm.
Should she? She's just not asking that question. She's asking
No.
that's cross again. I just think by virtue of the King of Cups, the answer is yes.
Yes. Yeah. I agree.
And it might be karmic. It might be because it was meant to be. Because Justice card has to do with karma.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
happy where she is, right? Leaving an unhappy situation. And I just think karma will draw her to where he is.
Yeah.
Okay,
She
that's
found out a
interesting.
truth.
All right. So anyway, it's just another 9 card spread that we can play with.
I know.
Dee, you had another one that you wanted to talk about. What was it?
Well, it was called the brick wall, and it's kind of the same question type things that you do, that you ask. And I haven't played with it a whole lot, but it's
Is it
lay
simple
out.
or is it complex like that last one?
Well, no, you just lay down 4 cards in a column. And again, what's the situation? How did I get here? There. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And the question, let's go with what our last question was, how do I get my power back? And will I see this person again? You can even do that. So what happens is, when you read that, you take cards 5 and 6, go answer the first 2 bottom questions, but you make it shaped like an arrow. So if you make you can do that. And then the top 2, you can pull 2 more cards.
Let's do it like this. 1, 2, 3, 4 to keep them in the picture. And then these are
5
like
and 6
this,
opposite.
right?
There you go. Yep. And then 7 and 8 go to the top 2.
Okay.
Like that. And then your bottom card of your deck is the final answer. If you're looking for that, what should I really do?
Okay. I know this looks kind of confusing, but we're trying to keep everything in the picture. So let me see if I can do that. Okay, this is difficult because that's the Hierophant. Let's do it like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is
there you
more,
go.
but I'm trying to do it where you can see it.
No, that's good. That's good.
Okay, Dee. So the question is
well, we could do, that's a yes or no. Should I say? Should I go?
What upcoming event do the cards want me to know about?
Okay.
We should have probably pulled it before, but so how do we read this, Dee? We've got the Hangman, the Moon,
Yep.
the Hierophant, and the High Priestess.
So how you read this is, how many major arcanas, how many minors. So if you go from the top, the majors.
5, D. This is amazing.
5 major.
We have 5 all the way down here.
So 5 major arcanas pretty much tell you that it's in the hands of the universe.
Okay.
And if you want anything specific, then you will look at specific cards and what they relate to.
What upcoming event do the cards want me to know about? Okay. So I like to teach people to start with keywords to help get it in, to help get your head around it, right? So we have being put on hold, a new perspective, maybe a new cycle, right? But letting go, releasing. Being distracted, not having all the information. Right. I love having to walk this path in the dark, not really knowing what's ahead of you, but trusting that the universe will take care, is guiding you there for a reason, right?
Yes, got you. Yep.
Being aware. All right. And then we have the Hierophant. This is my least favorite Hierophant in all my decks. It really is. This is stupid. But anyway, tradition, doing the right thing, following the right path.
Yep.
Then we have the High Priestess, my mean girl from high school.
Yep.
Even those mean girls in high school.
So what
And
does the gut say?
what?
What does
Yes,
your gut
what's
say?
your gut saying? Okay, so um, so what is coming? Something is coming that's going to stop. I think it's going to stop you in your tracks.
Yeah,
And
that's
you're
what it looks like to me.
and it's gonna and you're not gonna have all the information right away.
No?
So you might have to turn to other people to find out
Mm.
what that is, right? But the Hierophant can also be about institutions. It can also be
Yeah,
about,
hospital.
it could be a library or a school or a hospital.
Mm-hmm.
The Hierophant could be a professional, right? He could be
Mm-hmm.
a counselor, a doctor, somebody that's there to help you. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe you're going to get stopped dead in your tracks. Some event is going to stop you dead in your tracks, and it's going to make you, and you're not going to have all the information, and you might have to turn and ask for help.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And whatever help you get, you're going to have to trust yourself first and foremost when you get there, right?
Right. So
Okay.
those two bottom cards are there. They're almost like clarifiers. You look at that, and where can you pull from with those?
Well, the Tower and the Eight of Swords.
Tower, it's going to happen suddenly, or it's happening now.
Yeah, it's going to be a sudden change of events,
Sudden
but you know
change.
what? It's not as big of a deal as you're making it.
Right. There you
Because
go.
this is my stinking thinking card, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
it's the fatalistic. It's not wanting to see the truth. It's not wanting to see it for the reality that it is. It's for wanting to see it your way. It's you know, this is being stuck in thinking. This is just
Stuck.
being stuck.
Yes. Stuck in
All
your
right.
head. So the top two cards are again for giving you more information
Okay. So it's anxiety based around somebody else. So the
about
event has to
somebody
do with
else.
somebody else.
And
And
what's the bottom card?
the bottom card is the High Priestess. Oh, I'm sorry, over here. This
On
is
the
the
deck?
Three of Wands.
Three of Wands. Well, opportunity. It's about, well, so it should bring in um
The
an
card,
opportunity,
the
something
cards
new.
want you to know. What upcoming event do the cards want me to know about? It wants you to know about a situation between you and one other person
Mm-hmm.
that's causing you a lot of anxiety. And it kind of has you sitting in a holding pattern with that person. Could be a relationship of some kind, right?
Of some
It's
kind.
got you in a holding pattern, and you really don't know why. And you don't know why because you don't have all the information.
Exactly.
Something's out there that has not come to light yet.
Right.
But in my Everyday Witch deck, I want you to take a look at what's in the pond. You have a cat sitting on the edge of the pond. You have a puma in there. That is how the cat is seeing, or that's how we're seeing the situation, right? Bigger
Right.
than life, bigger
Bigger
than
than
it
life.
really is. And that's the holdup, right?
Yep.
Is
Yeah.
that's the problem, is you're seeing, and it's a situation that is just a sudden change in a situation that you're just not seeing right.
You're not seeing right. Yep. Yep.
And you've got to, and maybe this, even though it has nothing to do with the Hierophant, and I don't know why, but just this whole Zen thing,
Yeah.
it's like chill out if you're
Well,
going
you're
just
in
by
the
what you
hands of the
see,
universe. You've got those major account. You're already in the hands of the universe.
right?
But no, there's going to be the ripple and a change. It's going to come. It's coming. Not sure how quickly it is, but it's going to happen. And like they say, those things happen for a reason.
Yeah. So
So that was just another way to just throw some cards up. Anyway,
hang on.
so you feel like you're up against a brick wall because you can't just think about how to get around it and where is it and what is it. And I just read an article on the internet. It was called Shake Things Up. Because you know how we get stuck reading sometimes and they don't make any sense, and it just says throw a card, leave it for the day, look at it, just shake things up, because they're not always going to be the nice cards you want, but you got to listen to it whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I'll tell you what,
anyway,
sometimes I feel stuck. Sometimes I get stuck in this thing. I mean, I think we all do to a point. I just, I'm still pulling. I love Josephine Eller Shaw. I get her weekly, what's coming up
I
for the week on
I
Saturday
do too.
nights. Oh my God. You know what? I open up
Yeah.
I have an electric journal. I talk about it all the time. I open up my journal and then open that
Mm-hmm.
email because inevitably there's going to be something that she's going to say every week that I'm going to want to keep. I just love her. She also,
Yeah.
I've been thinking about doing some private,
Yeah.
contacting her for just some private work. There is somebody else who I'll remain nameless at the moment,
Mm-hmm.
but man, I thought this is who I want to turn to. I just want to get a hold of her, professional to professional, because she is kind of the tarot
Yeah.
professional of all for professional people. Ooh, she's $175 an hour now.
Mm-hmm.
A little spendy. I know that
Oh my
Elishaw's not cheap, but
gosh.
she's less than that. But sometimes it helps just to do that. Now,
Yeah.
I do practices with people all the time, and I love doing that. I love doing people. I love reading for other tarot readers in my shop. I just love it because they get it, right?
Mm-hmm.
They get it. Some readers aren't
Mm-hmm.
comfortable with that.
Yeah.
They feel like they're going to be judged or tossed. I don't feel that way. I feel like I have such a strong sense of self and such a strong sense of spirit in my life for my readings that I don't quibble anymore because I think I really think that came from festivals, festival reading. Um, but uh,
Sure.
but
Sure.
I do, and like I said, on my Etsy, if a reader just of any level just wants to read, but I always implore people, please come knowing the cards, come knowing, at least, knowing what each card means, even though it might be, just developing, but at least having it. But so many
Mm-hmm.
people will come to me for, the practice sessions that have never read the card. They just got their first deck, right? That would be a Learn Tarot in 10 weeks.
Ugh.
That's in my Etsy shop, along with my little bag of stuff. But I think that I'm looking at reaching out because you start getting bored with how you look at the cards. You start looking bored, and that's when you switch decks. That's
Yeah.
when you get together with other people and do
Yeah.
readings and get other things. So you and I love doing these.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do something again soon because we love doing these things. All right, then
Always
I
good to
will.
see you.
Oh yeah, it was good to see you, and I'm
Take
going.
care.
I'm going to let you go now because I have to get out of town. But
Yes.
I'll talk to you next Tuesday. Right, we're doing our Tarot Readers podcast next Tuesday. I'll have it up Tuesday night or Wednesday morning next week. And there's a couple of different things. We're either going to do all the nines, right? Or
Okay.
I might talk to the group about doing another topic, which we've already discussed, which is
Yes.
I had a situation where somebody, judged, kind of judged me for what I was doing, and I'm kind of
Mm-hmm.
having a hard time with it. And I think other people have that. And you and I talked about naming it, being judged for what we do.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to ask the group if it's okay to discuss that. But we're going to do one or the other. We'll do
Okay.
both in the next 2 months anyway. But
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Throw
take
it
care,
out
my
there.
friend. Love you, and we'll see you soon.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.